What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode Off the Schneid. We got a special guest tonight. You know him, you love him. BBG just had a stream a couple minutes ago. Logged off to join me over here. Hopefully, you got yourself a bite to eat. But how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very good, Cody. Thanks for having me on. Doing great, man. Yeah, we're not that it matters that much, but I'm 2 days away from surgery, so my days are kind of weird right now because I'm not working. So it's just a lot of just kind of whatever I want, until surgery. So drafting, going to the gym a little bit, and then that's about it. But yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, you guys saw the Twitter post. Maybe you might have to adjust your ranks. BBG is going on the DL, right? It's surgery, so you might have to move them down the ranks. We'll see how the recovery goes. We'll see how rehab goes. You have to keep us in the loop on that, and then maybe we'll adjust the ranks as we get news on the knee, right?
Fair, yeah. Some people have said the BBG ranks actually go up with the ACL tear. It's inverse. It's inverse to football players. So
that's fair. That's fair. You get more time to do work on your ranks. Yeah, I get that. I feel that. We'll say what's up to the chat. We got Who Hames always in there. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Fantasy Dog. Oh, follow Who Hames or go subscribe to Who Hames channel too. He's killing it over there. I joined BBG's channel late because I was watching Who Hames because Who Hames is the man.
Facts. So, yeah.
Who Hames, my man. We got Fantasy Dog. Good to see you. We will do some golf talk. I gotta get my guy over here a little hooked up on some knowledge. We got Candyman in the chat. He can help out too. Little known fact, I'm a huge a huge golf nerd, huge golf player. I love to golf. I've got a reasonable handicap and play golf every week, fantasy wise, DFS wise. So we'll chat some golf for sure, but not right away. We got to address a couple things and then we'll get into that. Candyman, what's happening? Good to see you. Almost hit the pin. Eagle putt. Nice. Who Hames subscribed. Go subscribe to Who Hames for sure. We got Aaron Sandy, Das Baruku, Losamo, GM, Hartman, Steven. What's happening? We got Best Ball on call in here. Good luck with surgery. Forey Wayne. First time I've seen that name in the chat. So appreciate you coming in. CBK in here looking for the golf content on the chat. Unless someone says something first. Perfect. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's pull up Underdog so we can address the elephant in the room. The common knowledge about my fading of Brock Bowers and BBG's absolute just desire to bury himself with Brock Bowers.
and Trey McBride. Give me both of those guys every time.
Trey McBride, I'm good. I'm good on Trey McBride. That's part of. All right, let me give you my whole thesis because I don't think you just think I hate Brock Bowers. Let's give you the whole rundown.
Perfect.
About my Brock Bowers kind of take. So, number one, I don't see much of any difference realistically between Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Their price is obviously a little bit different. 10 picks, almost a full round of difference ADP wise. So I think Trey McBride's a fine click. 147 targets, 111 catches, 1,100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 112 catches, a couple more targets. It's basically the same stats, couple more touchdowns for Brock Bowers, realistically, right?
Right.
So I don't see enough of a difference there is my thing. So I'll take McBride a full round later. That's just a much better click for me off the top. That's just one. Number one. Number two, I'm not taking a lot of elite tight end this year, regardless in the big board. We had this conversation on Pat's stream when we were on there together. Pat's in a similar boat as me, kind of soft fading Bowers a little bit. Because of that reason, it's 20 rounds. I'm almost always taking 3 tight ends. And I think you can just ping pong tight ends and get those spike weeks whenever you need them. Number 3, the spike week on a wide receiver is much more consistent and easier to attain than a spike week with tight ends. That's just straight facts. So that's a number like in the 1-2 turn, right? But the 1-2 turn players, wide receivers in that range. So we're looking at what, Drake London, Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe Ladd McConkey. You could throw AJ Brown in there. Talk about, running backs. We got Jonathan Taylor in that mix, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. The consistency of being able to hit that 2 touchdown plateau is much easier to attain for those other players than Brock Bowers, in my opinion. And I don't particularly think there can be an argument on that, just going off of the numbers that say that, Brock Bowers averaged like 14 points last year. And guys in that range, wide receivers and running backs, average like 16. Spike week up to 30 is just a little easier to attain.
Yeah.
Then the last piece of it is consensus likes Ashton Genty to the Raiders, which I agree. It's hard for me to find a way that he doesn't end up there. I may or may not do that in my mock draft, which will be about a week. I'm super stoked for that. It's gonna be different than everyone else, I think.
Okay.
Which I typically am. Typically, I'm different than everyone else. It's not.
Do you just do the first round?
Not on purpose. I just do the first round because there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, because you got to do the trade, people trading everywhere and stuff. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And the amount of connections that I make and that I look into and the rabbit holes I go down, like you'll see when you watch the mock draft. We'll talk about it on the 12-hour live stream, which we'll have. BBG, I'm sure, will come on the 12-hour live stream.
Yeah.
So the mock draft will be out, and we can talk about that on the. I'm sure it'll be a topic of conversation. At least I hope it is, anyways. But if consensus likes Ashton Genty to the Raiders, when's the last time there was essentially a first-round running back and a first-round tight end from the same team? Has that ever happened? No, it is not.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
The closest that you've got for finishes as far as tight end, running back finishing top 3, because they both are being drafted essentially as top 3 at their positions, the closest we've gotten any time through essentially the last 10 years, because that's as far back as I went, was the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. They did it twice, but George Kittle's a 6th, 7th, 8th round pick, 9th round pick, 10th round pick in those years, right? But he's not going in the first round, second round, 1-2 turn type of thing. Right. Then the last piece, again, another last piece, Chip Kelly. He just stats his own stats as a head coach doesn't really reflect that he's going to be able to carry that sort of production for both those positions. Especially his last.
Well, that's a different argument though, because you're saying you don't like taking Genty and Bowers.
No, that was the last piece of it is yes, like if you're going to take a stand on one, then you have to kind of fade the other if you think that they're both on the same team.
Well, I mean, I have like 12% Bowers, 12% Genty, and I don't know if I've ever put them on the same team, honestly. I'll just build a team.
You have BBO. You have BBO.
I know, I could check, yeah. But regardless, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess the main thing, just to give like the Bowers bull case, just to remind everyone who this is. This guy was a tight end who was a rookie playing with Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and he broke Puka Nakua's wide receiving receptions record, who is a first-round pick currently with Devontae Adams on his team. Okay? This guy fills your tight end position as the potential wide receiver 1. Right? Like a wide receiver 1 in fantasy. That is absurd advantage over the field. That's the number 1 bull case. So we understand the pedigree here. He's also very well known to be a true freshman breakout who was better than like 8 top 40 NFL picks. I don't remember all of them. It's like 80 Mitchell, Worthy, and then the other guys that played the years before last year's rookie class. And then what else we got? And then the argument with the running backs, like as far as, okay, and then this is where you do make a lot of sense. Not that you're not making sense, sorry, but where the argument gets stronger, in my opinion, is the 20 round thing. I get it. But I'm just going back to the pedigree of this player and the amount of like blue chip Travis Kelce, like the best tight end we've ever seen. I mean, he was a rookie last year with 154 targets. And then the Chip Kelly thing, I don't know too much about Chip Kelly and all that stuff, but I have heard people say that he runs a fast-paced offense. So I like that. Like, that's good for Bowers. And then, Yeah, I don't know. Beyond that, and then comparing the running backs to him, I get that, but I can also find running backs that score potentially 14 points a game, 15 points a game when the Bucky Irving takes over the backfield, or the Kyron goes down and Corum is the bell cow. Like, you are not going to find peak Travis Kelce potentially with Cade Otton, with Pat Freiermuth. So with that being said, yeah,
the Travis Kelce comp though, like that's with Patrick Mahomes, not Geno Smith. People like to love Geno Smith. I get it. Like, he's accurate.
He's better than Travis Kelce.
He's had one good season as a starting quarterback. Literally, guys. I know Geno Smith's accurate. I get it. The chat's saying it nonstop, more efficient, blah blah blah. He's accurate, great. And we're playing half point PPR with Brock Bowers here, so the catching passes does not go as far. Right. Obviously, we know that. Then there's the argument for touchdown, like not the opposite of regression. I'm not even sure what the term is, but positive touchdown regression. That doesn't. That's
regression to the mean.
Sure. But look at what Trey McBride has done his whole career. I agree.
I think Trey McBride is a better value. Like, I love picking from the front of the board because you can get McBride in the third. It's such a cheat code. Like, you're basically getting Brock Bowers again in the third almost. So I understand that.
I'll agree with that. That we won't argue about. That's for damn sure.
Maybe not Brock Bowers, but close.
And we'll see who's right on this. Obviously, like, I just don't think that there's any value taking Bowers here. Now, again, this is a 20 round big board pre-draft take and fade. I'm not 100% fading Bowers either. Like, I am 100% fading Ashton Genty. Everyone knows that. But I'm not 0% Bowers. I'm at like 4%. So it's not a hard full fade. I do like him in certain packages as well. Again, like I said before, and I made a whole kind of show on at least the start of it. This sort of thing was based on the Bowers and Genty being on the same team, where it just can't make sense. So yeah, anyone that drafts them together, I think, is poor process. Realistically, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying
that's a big bet for the Raiders. That feels like taking Garrett Wilson and Brees on the same team from the Jets last year or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like I imagine the Raiders still not being a great team, even with their notable upgrades.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I don't know. And I do think that they're going to be a better team and less like the fast paced thing. They were fast paced last year because they had to be. Like, they were throwing a lot. They had to be fast paced because they were losing almost every game. So the volume was there, and everyone shits on the quarterback situation last year. I get it. And I don't disagree, but there was 2,000-yard receivers on the Raiders last year. I don't think people like to remember that.
No, the bigger upgrade is no Antonio Pierce and Steve Carroll with Chip Kelly. That's a huge upgrade in the offensive scheme and system. And it's year 2. Like, guys, this was he was a rookie last year doing this. Like, we're year 2. This is it. Like, this is it. It's gonna go off.
So it's Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll's a defensive head coach.
Oh,
he likes to run the ball. I think you said Steve. It's all good. Steve, Pete, whatever.
Yeah,
it's a common white guy name, Steve or Peter.
Right, the dad names.
Yeah, but he likes to run the ball. Like, going off of the offenses in Seattle, they like to run the ball. True. So again, my take was with the Genty Bowers thing. Like, if you have to pick one or the other, it was actually a bull case for Genty.
Really?
Which is hard for me to say, not really, but if you're picking one or the other, for me, it has to be Ashton Genty, because again, he has access to more consistent spike weeks, and they go in the same range. So again, if consensus is correct and they're both Las Vegas Raiders, one or the other has to win. And for me, it's Genty actually over Bowers. But we'll see. I could be completely wrong. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll jump into a draft. Let's do a draft, and then let's see where it goes. We're not taking. It'd
be funny if we get like the 111 or the 112,
and then we have to fight about it. If you're in the chat, we're jumping in. No countdown. We're in. There's seven spaces. Seven waiting on 7. Tons of room. Hopefully, we're at the front of the board and we can just avoid this conversation.
Yeah, no, it'd be easy for us to be in on McBride at least, so that'll be good.
0% Genty feels great. It feels great, actually. We'll see what happens. Oh man, literally the 10, hey? Literally the 10. We're not taking either Genty or Bowers. I'm telling
Oh
you that.
man, that's fair.
I'm telling you that.
I mean,
If
I
we
don't
were
have
like
control. It's not fair, but I don't have control, so
if
I'll
we
live
were
with it.
like if we were like 5 or 6 or something, you could maybe talk me into Bowers. I'm not taking one random
For a
share of
second,
Genty.
the Puka
Like there's
Nacua
no
argument didn't sell you. He's
no.
a tight end, and he's beating one of the best wide receivers we've ever seen in recent years.
So he had 40 more points, Puka Nacua, in that same year you're talking about.
Yes, but
40
he
more
plays
points.
tight end. He fills your tight end spot. Whereas, like, I get it, like, but we can take more wide receivers later in the draft. You're not getting another chance at Brock Bowers.
There's an easier, and for me, there's an easier route to hit, like not the nut tight end, but like again, if you're drafting tight end, let's say 20 to 25, right? And they end up tight end 5. That's the same thing as getting Bowers when you're taking him in the first round.
I don't think so.
It's pretty much
with the ceiling he has. I don't think so.
I mean,
because Bowers could lap the field realistically.
No, he's number one, not lapping McBride. That's for sure. He's not lapping.
No, I'm saying lap the lower half, like easily.
Like McBride had 10 points more than George Kittle last year.
Okay,
well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Weeks are the same. He's going 40 picks later.
Can we take McBride in the second?
No, that's pulling him way too far up.
Okay.
Way too far.
Yeah.
Way too far.
I think the 20-round argument is very viable. Bowers will be a better pick at BBM.
I know you love Nico here. I don't like Nico.
I've been coming around to taking Amon-Ra too. Like I'm not.
Okay, let's take.
I'm not foolish. I understand the Nico O-line is really bad and stuff. So
it's not the O-line. It's not the O-line. Actually, the O-line's fine in Houston. They brought in like six free agents to fill up that offensive line. It's a wash from last year, in my opinion. It's the same, and it might be better because there was a lot of toxicity from what I hear in that room. Right. So I think it's a wash. Actually, it's more just like he gets hurt. He's been hurt every year of his career. So
you don't love the soft tissue hamstring stuff all the time. However, he is one of the best you can have when he's out there. And I love the dome games. And the Amon-Ra, we get that same thing. Honestly, Amon-Ra should go probably before Neighbors and stuff.
I agree with that for sure. Yeah. He should be higher. There's no reason for him not to. Who do you like here? We're not going Bowers.
No, I get it. I think I'm Drake London, AJ Brown.
Probably. I like Drake London a lot.
Yeah, I like Drake London quite a bit too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that. It's NFC as well. They could play each other, but not insanely likely. What do you think of this here? Trey McBride and flipping the board.
I mean, probably don't like it that much. I mean, you can do Jamar Chase with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison, like you don't need to take Mike Evans instead of Jamar. Like you could have Jamar Chase, like the best wide receiver in football, with that same combo. So I don't like it that much.
I don't like it at all. I'm confident. I'm confident.
Kind of nice.
I'm confident MLB syndicate's in the chat too. So apologies if we're hating on your squad, but I agree that what you said is exactly the reason why it can't make sense, because you can easily get Jamar Chase with these two, or
Justin Jefferson,
anyone at the front,
Sean,
right?
Anyone,
exactly. Right. And even like CeeDee Lamb, where it's NFC, Barkley, where it's NFC, Bijan, where it's NFC, something like that, where you can try to, hope or wish cast, or even like Puka. You could do a Puka where it's the same division, that sort of a thing.
I love doing that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I do as well. I started doing, I did one where I brought in Puka, and then Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then Devontae Adams, and then Kittle and San Francisco. Absolutely. And I just stack up that whole NFC West. So those sorts of things are things that I like to do as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is another thing. Like I don't necessarily like to think like at the start of the draft or start of the tournament, he was going here, so you can't take him anymore, sort of a thing? Or
No.
You know what I mean? But this is a good point. Like McBride was a late 3-4, start. You used to be able to get Marvin Harrison at the 3-4 turn with McBride.
Yes.
Where you'd have two players at the 12, right?
I have a start that I just found. I can pull it up if you want, but I have a CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison team with Kyler at like 120 and Dak at 150. It's beautiful.
Wow. Kyler at 120s.
Yeah. Kyler started so low. I mean, it's crazy. And now we're getting quotes today that he's going to run more, another year removed from the injury. So
yeah, a little bit of news today. Let's talk about that. That was, but that we knew that was coming with Kyler regardless.
Yeah, right. But once you get the little ticker message on the draft board, that changes the market. It's the little things that change the market, especially when there's no news. Like all news is overblown. So
yeah,
because Kyler last year was like an 8-9 turn guy when he opened, and by mid BBM, he was like at the 6th round, like 7th round, pretty comfortably. Because people didn't want to not have their Marvin Harrison or McBride stacks with him.
Yeah, coming off the ACL, obviously ran a little bit less, which is obviously going to happen, right? And then he recovers, gets back to actually, higher than prior seasons rushing wise. Yeah. So, yeah, but you're right. As soon as you get that red dot, right? Yep. Some sort of news, he rises.
Because no one else has a red dot. It's just you. So
right. Yeah, exactly. Same thing with not in a good way, but there's news on Tyreek again. Some more domestic violence issues at the crib.
Someone in my chat confirmed that he's just getting divorced. He's on trouble. I'm 100% Breece Hall. I'm wearing the jersey. I can make the full Breece Hall argument for you. If you want.
I don't want to fight you on it. I won't fight you on it. No, I won't fight you on it.
I'm pumped on that pick.
The only thing I was going to say is, do we want to try to push him around the corner? That's it, because he is falling and he has been falling. But I'm good either way. I'll take.
Yeah, I think I'm just taking him. I'm so in.
Especially with our start, it makes lots of sense.
105 last year, and I'm telling you, with Hackett's offense and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, it was abysmal, dude. His success rate is going to be much better. His competition is Braylon Allen, who's not that good, and his receiving game work is still elite. So.
Yeah, no, I'm with it on Breeze. He could be traded, mostly due to the contract is the only real reason.
Also bullish, in my opinion. Honestly, like get him on a better team.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. The biggest thing for the Jets is for us, get him on a better team. Yeah, for us, but for the Jets, it's do you want to pay him? Like, are you that?
No, I don't want to. No, I don't think I want to. Yeah, not. I mean, running backs don't cost much, and he's really good, so maybe actually. But
I don't mind the Josh Allen click here with Breece Hall. We got some divisional correlation. He's falling.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind doing double Lions either, because when Goff spikes, it's usually on a double stack. And like if you were to play it like a DFS type lineup, which I think through sometimes, but I'm fine either way. Those are my two options.
I like Josh Allen. We got a pretty high ceiling team here with Josh Allen at the helm.
I agree. Yeah.
I think we could be live to win any week with this 4 start, realistically.
Absolutely.
So let's
really
just lock
I really like this start. I mean, I can't reiterate enough that I know Breece looked kind of weird last year, but the receiving game numbers were still elite. And he was like legit 106 last year because he was the running back 2 in points per game coming back from a torn ACL the year prior to that. So. And
if he is on the Jets, which in all honesty, he probably is. Is he? We'll see. We'll see. That definitely could be a big trade, and we can talk about that in a second. But if he is on the Jets with Justin Fields, look at Lamar Jackson, look at Jaden Daniels. Some of these rushing quarterbacks, they open up a lot of running lanes for these running backs. So
yeah, absolutely. And someone mentioned one time in a podcast I was listening to that Justin Fields actually throws to the running back a little bit more than you would think.
I think he did on the Bears, but he didn't quite last year on the Steelers. Yeah. Okay. So, but that could just be, offensive coordinator dependent, right? So I'm not going to say he does or doesn't. We'll kind of see. I mean, we're probably not stacking Breece Hall with Justin Fields a crazy amount.
Yeah, probably not.
So
I mean, I like Fields in a vacuum. I don't know about on a Josh Allen team, maybe as much, but
no, not at his
yeah.
price currently. I
Yeah.
definitely have some Josh Allen Fields teams.
Yeah,
From
you were in on
early.
Fields back in the good days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's fallen now. I'm down to 17%, where it
Yeah.
was over 20.
Yeah,
And
that's
but
beautiful, man. Yeah.
yeah, my average ADP is 20 picks past his current ADP, and it's
Wow.
still rising.
That's great.
So that feels really nice. That feels
Yeah.
really nice. But with Brees Hall though, like let's talk about some landing spots where he could go. Like I think it makes a lot of sense for the Jets to trade Brees Hall, because again, you're not going to pay him. It doesn't make any sense to pay him 14, 16 million a year.
No,
So,
but I don't think it'd be worth like a 4th round pick. Like I don't know if a team's willing to pay for it. Like that
I think
much.
a 4th would get it. I think a 4th would get
No,
him.
I think a team would do a 4th. I think
Yeah.
we'd want a 3rd though, at least. Like, because in the grand scheme of things, the cap is up to like 290 million these days. Paying a blue chip running back 15 mil a year is not that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting a 4th is like not that interesting to me. I mean, it's a good running back class, so we could replace him easier, but yeah.
Especially if you sign, like if I were a team that's trading for Brees Hall, I would trade for him now. I would send a 3rd, but I would get a contract done right this second.
Totally. Yeah.
Where his stat profile is right now with what he's done in his career so far, I would get a contract done right now before you make the trade, before he signs.
Right.
I would get a contract done to make it as cheap as possible, because you could get Brees Hall right now.
Yeah.
For what, 12, 14 million?
Probably. Yeah.
So, and that could be a discount next year.
It absolutely. Well, I don't know. With the running backs are always weird, but yeah, it definitely could be. I agree with that.
Who do you like right here?
One of those 3 receivers. It's a pretty big tier for me after those 3 guys. I typically, so one of them. I'm probably Waddle. I like them.
Yeah, with our NFC East thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but I like that too. Yeah, I like that angle.
Let's do Waddle. The other guy that I had an idea about the other day, I was talking about it on stream. Obviously, the Denver Broncos are a landing spot for running back. We know that, right?
Yeah.
I think with the uneasiness and the issues that have arisen already with James Cook, I think the Denver Broncos could be a landing spot for James Cook if that could come together.
I mean, yeah, they have announced fully, like, we are getting a running back, whether draft or trade. Like,
who do you like here? Wide receiver again? Quinshawn. We got Najee. I like Najee a lot. Quinshawn, Jaden Reed.
Yeah, if you want to do one of the rookie running backs, fine with that. I have a ton of Quinshawn. I've kind of been cooling off. I like Ridley.
Juwan Jennings isn't a bad click here.
Yeah,
I know you don't like him, or
dude, it's fine. He's a fine pick.
I like Jennings.
The beauty of Brees Hall is you can literally build your team as if you just got a 1st round pick. Like, I'm not like you have a blue chip running back, 1st round running back, and you could build it as like a really strong anchor.
It's right here. Like, what's the difference between Brees Hall and Jonathan Taylor for the most part?
Right.
Like that's how I look at it, and I'm comfortable with Jonathan Taylor as an anchor. Therefore, I'm comfortable with Brees Hall as an anchor. But back to the James Cook, like Sean Payton offense. Go back to the glory days with the Saints with Kamara and Mark Ingram. The Mark Ingram comp for me, literally straight up comp for me out of college, was Audric Estime. My comp was Mark Ingram.
Okay.
I think that makes tons of sense. And then obviously we know James Cook can do a lot of Kamara type stuff. In the passing game, that could be that joker role for him.
Okay.
So I think it can make some sense. It's just a matter of, again, the contract, but and then again, they can save their draft capital. Now they could go with a 4th round pick for James Cook, knowing that he's pissed off. Maybe less, maybe even less.
As long as they say they're going to pay him. Yeah. Like, he'll be willing to go over there. And then, he just wants to get paid. But I think someone brought this up. I think he'll have more advice on the matter because of what his brother did. Like, his brother screwed himself. Yeah. Like, trying to do this. So, I wonder what he'll end up doing.
I do too. It's an interesting spot to be in. Obviously he wants to get paid his first contract. It's probably his only contract. So his only real big contract. So I would say settle on the probably 12 to 14 million that you're probably worth. I would settle on that. What do you think happens to that offense if James Cook is not on that team anymore?
That's interesting. I mean, wheels up for Ray Davis, definitely. He's good, right? Ray Davis looked pretty good last year.
Do you think it hurts that team though? Like, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. He was the engine for that team. I remember watching Bills games last year. He was like, I feel like James Cook was like the thing that would like inspire a good drive. Like they wouldn't be able to get anything going. Then all of a sudden he would bust out like a 12-yard run. The offense is moving a little quicker. I kind of remember that pretty frequently, actually. Like he was kind of the engine in and around the goal line too. He had like 16 touchdowns. Like
he did.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would definitely probably lead to more passing, like stuff like that. But overall, like total points for the team, I think they would score less points as an offense without James Cook for sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that they would be fine. Let's say they brought in Bashal Tutin. How different is that offense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the rookies well enough to comp them to the pros like that much yet, but I know James Cook is a very good NFL pro. Like anyone who can score 16 touchdowns and he averages like 5 a carry. I think he had like 1,500 scrimmage yards like the year before or something crazy too. Like he's good. I remember taking a lot of James Cook last year because he only scored 2 touchdowns the year prior, and I was like, we're really letting this guy go to the 5th round just because he scored twice last year because he can't score touchdowns. And then he scores 16. So
yeah, I was probably the biggest buyer. I was probably the biggest owner of James Cook last year. He's probably the biggest reason that I won what I won last year, which wasn't, I didn't win. I actually lost money last year, but I placed relatively a couple big board finals teams. Mostly the James Cook. What do you like here? There's nothing really we need to do for stats.
Connor, a pretty big fall. Like
I hate Connor. I'm not taking Connor.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Connor. Fair. It is a huge fall, but
yeah. Hunter, is he there? I don't know. Like I don't know if you want Travis Hunter if he's there.
He's not here.
Not. Okay. Caleb Johnson, Ayuk, something like that. Then Tyrone Tracy, Pollard. I like Pollard's good.
Oh God, it didn't.
Oh, we got him.
All right, well,
it was meant to be. Don't worry, it was meant to be.
It wasn't clicking. The friggin' the star wasn't working. That's fun. Well, we ended up with a share of James Conner. Now Conner's what you're going to need to win. So,
yeah, I don't love James Conner this year, but I mean, end of the 7th, like it's fine.
It's fair. Like that is a huge amount of discount, so I can't get mad about it. But let's get our pick locked in, and then we'll keep chatting. I mean,
you're right. I think we go back to the wide receiver well here somewhere.
This range is god awful.
It's
unless
gross.
You want to go Mooney, we could go Mooney. Or
I don't mind Mooney. So you're not taking any Ayuk with the injury worries, basically.
I am if it makes sense. Like I don't want to take him with Jennings unless we're planning on bringing in Purdy, which I don't want to do with Josh Allen. So
okay,
I mean, where do you? Then is that your thoughts or no?
I was thinking I'd be fine to bring in Purdy as the second quarterback with the double stack but I don't know if we'd even get Purdy. If not, I'm fine with Kirk, Mooney, McMillan. Yeah.
Who I was thinking.
Do you think they add a receiver though that takes away from Kirk like almost instantly? I think
they do, but I don't think it'll take away from Kirk.
Who's more likely to add a wide receiver? Houston or Falcons? That's kind of what I always think through. Is like I've been kind of leaning Mooney a little bit, but Kirk's fine.
We can go Mooney. Let's do Mooney. I need more of both. Let's do that.
Okay, and we have Atlanta. With
PPR Tyler's in the chat. Let's appease to PPR Tyler.
I don't know. He said we're his least favorite streamers. So
I know he always says that, being facetious. We know that he's being facetious. Is a big word for you, Tyler. What were we yakking about there?
I don't know. We're talking about James Cook going to different places. But to go back to where I think it'd be fun if Breece Hall went, basically any team that's a contender. Right?
There's lots, actually.
Yeah, I think teams that saw what the Eagles did and what the Ravens did with their run game upgrades were pretty inspired by that. So you get Breece Hall on any contending team. It would be the more likely scenario. Like the Saints are not trading for Breece Hall, right? There's not going to be. So Breece Hall is either already in a fine situation or he's going to get a good upgrade. Period. Maybe the Commanders. I saw someone say that'd be a fun spot for Breece.
Yeah, I've heard some chatter about the Commanders. That would be a good spot. The most interesting one would be if the Chiefs wanted to do it in his final year of his rookie deal, and then see what happens. If he wants to resign for the cheap or whatever, maybe you can afford him next season. Cap goes up. Don't worry about that. Just get Breece Hall in the final year of his rookie deal. Tag him. You can franchise tag him too after that. It's
totally.
That would be
Breece to the Bengals. Come on.
Hey, as a Bengals fan,
I think that'd be awesome for you guys.
It would be all right. Just knowing like the Bengals would never do something like that. They would never do something like that. Unfortunately, I just know
trade
my
a 2026 third for Breece Hall, and then also let the Jets move up like one round from like 7 to 6, and then you just take all defense, and you guys have Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Breece on offense, and then just a stout rookie class defensive men.
The Bengals don't do anything fun, unfortunately. It's pretty, it's pretty
honestly,
sad.
Fields. Well, okay, I'll give the Jets some credit. Like them taking Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall was pretty exciting for me. Like, and then them getting Rodgers, I was like, okay, maybe we got something here. Like, it was pretty boring the years before that, and then we get Justin Fields this year. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm excited to watch Justin Fields be in a green jersey this year.
I think you got to be excited to be a Jets fan, realistically.
I was not expecting us to have
at least if you still have Breece Hall, even if you don't, even if it's Braylon Allen back there,
right?
It's going to be fun.
Totally. We got Sauce. We got. I think Quinnen Williams is still there, if I remember correctly. Yeah. CJ Mosley's gone, I believe, but that's okay.
Jamin Sherwood is in there now.
Fashano year 2 is going to be a little bit better, hopefully, and.
The offensive line's in good shape except for right tackle. There's a huge
we got
black hole at right.
Moses and the other dude are gone.
Yeah, but they're in
Moses was not good anyway. So I'm fine with them. I really hope we take tackle at 7. I really don't want to go Tyler Warren or something weird like that. I really
would 100% agree with that. Maybe I have them taking a tackle. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
We'll have to tune in. You'll have to tune into the
Membu falls.
You'll have to tune into the mock draft in about a week. It's either next Thursday or Friday. One of those 2 days will be the mock draft right before the 12-hour live stream. What do we want to do here? Mark Andrews is falling. I'm not taking Rashid at all.
Okay.
Kelsey doesn't make sense for this team, and I'm not taking him. Like I don't like him here.
Besides Shaheed, my second favorite wide receiver is a little bit down. His name is Hollywood Brown. So if you don't want him, don't take him. But I like Andrews quite a bit. Or Scadaboo's interesting. Brian Robinson.
Let's get Andrews on the falling value here.
Okay.
I think we can lock in Brock Bowers light. I pick 106.
As someone who had 20% Andrews last year, I won't disagree. I love Mark Andrews.
11 touchdowns.
I know he got lucky with that. But it was going to be another year removed from that tightrope surgery. Like they give him the little extension or whatever. Like Lamar loves this dude, bro. Like this Lamar to Mark Andrews is like a special relationship. People need to understand that,
And Mark Andrews is fucking pissed. He's not happy. He is not happy with how that season ended. He is not happy at all. He wants to come out, prove a point. He wants to win. He wants to make amends. He wants to, get back at it. I like Mark Andrews here. I think it's Coleman just to pair up with our Josh Allen.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I noticed Jordan Mason's still there. I don't know if you're in on that, but
I'm very in on that. We can do that. Let's do that.
Yeah,
I'm very in on Jordan Mason.
Coleman is kind of wishy-washy, maybe like a ceiling play, like when you need him most. But beyond that, I don't think he's going to be like a year 2 breakout or anything.
Yeah, if you're going to give me Jordan Mason, I'll take Jordan Mason. I'm trying to get up to over 10%. I'm at probably 10% now. And I'm continuing to pick up shares of Jordan Mason. I think there's still value to be had there. Sweet. I was massively in on Ty Chandler last year behind Aaron Jones.
Me too. Yeah.
Didn't work out. So you give me someone like Jordan Mason in that role. I'm back in on the backup to Aaron Jones.
Dude, you have to be. And Mason's good too. Like Mason coming from one of my best friends and diehard Niners fan, and we were driving up to week 1. Dude, wait, how crazy? I don't even remember if this was the actual narrative, but we're driving up to Santa Clara. I live about 5 hours south of there. And I'm like doing an underdog draft, and I was like, oh, I'm in the last round. Shane, who should I take on the Niners? I need like a bring back on Jets, because it's the Palooza where I played like the Jets Niners and then like the Sunday night game of that week or whatever. And I was like, I'm doing this Jets Niners stack. And he's like, take Jordan Mason. He's really good. Like, he's like actually a really good football player. And then I believe it was like an hour later when Shanahan came out, or like they announced that McCaffrey's like not playing like officially. Or something.
That was week 1 this happened. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was literally is that how the timeline went for McCaffrey? Was he like, we were kind of unsure until literally the game. Yeah. Yeah. So I got him. Yeah. Right before the contest filled, I got a Jordan Mason. Anyways, I won like $250 playing this primetime Palooza, because I was like 3 people with Jordan Mason, because everyone took McCaffrey. So
of course. Yeah. Nice.
Pretty classic. Yeah.
Nice.
Love Jordan Mason.
That was an interesting one. That was an interesting situation. And then people are taking Garendo as the backup, not Mason, right? So
yeah, right.
He was pretty low owned. I'm sure a lot of guys had their shares of Mason, but I personally didn't. I wish I did. Mm-hmm. And here I am, learned my lesson. I'll take my Jordan Mason shares. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to add
just a talented player, and you got to love the Vikings offense this year.
Yeah, especially like all of the chatter. I'm not the only one talking about this. Everybody knows it. The red zone efficiency was hot garbage, especially running the football inside the 10. It was straight trash. So you bring in a bigger body guy like Mason that can finish the job. I definitely like Mason in that offense, especially because I know you like the Vikings pass catchers. I'm very, very low on the Vikings pass catchers.
Because of McCarthy?
Because of McCarthy. Yeah, it's certainly not Kevin O'Connell. It's JJ McCarthy that really hurts it for me. I don't think he should have been a first-round pick at all last year. He's still a rookie, essentially. We haven't seen him do a goddamn thing. Right. Plus, he's coming off a pretty big knee injury. I know Emo Cowboy in the chat doesn't think it's a big deal, but I don't think that that's a good situation. I'm pretty sure he had a more recent surgery on that same knee. So that's a huge concern. I don't know. I'm pretty. Yeah.
Pretty no, you have very fair points there. And let's go.
Kincaid?
Kincaid. Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's just an easy click.
Yeah,
and we'll take whatever's left over. There's lots of wide receivers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like
even running backs.
I'll put him in the private chat so we don't give them away here. And then
yeah, we'll have a chat about that too.
Okay, maybe not into that guy, but I did say it.
No, I mean, I'd be okay with it. We'll see who's there. We'll have a chat about it when the time comes.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like the second. I like the second. Sharps die or something. Yeah. I like Charbonnet. Actually, what's my shares on Charbonnet?
He's a good player. He is expensive. 9%,
11% overall. We'll mix it up, but
I don't take too much of him, but I try to.
22 picks past ADP. That's
that's a good price. Yeah, that's a good price.
I think. He goes anyways. Higgins goes. Okay. We can talk about Higgins, but I think it's got to be Penix here, right?
Okay. Yeah, Penix for sure.
Get our double stack going.
We're done at quarterback. Feels great.
So with Higgins, it's an interesting one for me. It's a really, really interesting one for me with Higgins. Watching tape, I'm a big tape guy. I watch tape on all of these rookies. Big tape guy. I watched the tape on Higgins, and I really didn't like the tape. I really didn't. And then he goes out to the combine, 6'4", 210, runs a 4.4. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Plus, there's a lot of data points that came out that were pretty favorable. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should, I could be completely wrong. So let's look at the data. Let's look at his athletic profile. I have to like him a little bit more. Plus, I'm always a sucker for big man run fast. Wide receiver. Right. I'm always a sucker for that. So shout out Savion Williams. But So I'm like, okay, I have to like this guy. So I start drafting him. Then the reception perception profile comes out. That's not favorable whatsoever. So I don't know. What's your take on Higgins? I've been just kind of back and forth. I can't decide if I like him or not. I'm at about 20% Higgins, but I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not.
Yeah, I think the only real take I have on it is basically there's nothing but this dude is a second round pick, basically. And then beyond that, I mean, we also saw crazy stuff happen last year. We saw Leggett, who is projected as a second round pick, got pulled into the first round. You got weird stuff that happens in the draft. Like if a team just falls in love with Higgins and they pull him into the first round, not going to shock me that much, honestly. They got a guy at the end of the draft. The Bills really like Jaden Higgins. They pull him there. It's just it's also an absolute wide receiver cliff in my mind after Higgins until you get down to his teammate, basically, until you get down to some other fun rookies. But I don't like Dobbs, Coker, Tillman. Like those are not.
I thought you loved Tillman.
I did, but I'm pretty certain Hunter's going to the Browns. So I've kind of flipped that a little bit.
Fair.
So I think Tillman's a good player, but with any smoke that the Browns are taking Hunter now, I'm like, whoa.
Okay, fair enough. That's a fair take because they most likely are taking Hunter, and that definitely hurts them. The concussions were what concerned me. Like missing 5 games at the end of the season in your second, as a sophomore, and you're not in games because of a concussion. That's very concerning for me.
Yeah, but I think the team was kind of like, they're done for the year anyways. It's kind of, I don't know.
But he's a young player. You want him on the field. You don't want him sitting, you're not saving him for anything, right?
Well, that's fair. And I mean, he's going to come back and play football. And basically, you just kind of hope he doesn't get a concussion. Brandon Cooks was once this person, and then he never got a concussion again. So,
yeah,
the talent is
a lot
there.
Of games. That's a lot of games to me.
It was a shocking amount of games. I remember I had him on my dynasty team that was advancing to the finals, and I was like, "Tillman, I could really use you with Jameis Winston one of these weeks here."
I'll agree with the cliff though. That's for sure. Like Wicks works if you're stacking,
right? Yeah.
I don't mind Coker in I'm like 6 to 8%, something like that. Coker.
I kind of just scramble the Panthers guys. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm with that too. And it works if you're stacking with Bryce Young at the end, right? You're scrambling for a stack. You can do that, but we're done at quarterback. I think you agree.
Yes, definitely done at quarterback.
Running back, wide receiver, preferably. What do you like?
I'm definitely in a running back zone here. And I'll let you just take. I think a rookie would be fun because we already have kind of 3 established guys. So maybe Giddens if you like him, or Harvey, or Neal.
I love Giddens. I think I need to get
Grendo. I don't know. I like year 2 at least. Like, give me something young and exciting for the pick here at least. Ray Davis. Ray Davis with Josh Allen. That would have probably been the. You know, I don't like that. No. He caught like a 50-yard pass last year. I remember it was pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean James Cook caught like 450.
Well, Ty Johnson caught like 40 as well. But at least we know Josh Allen throws to his running backs.
True, he definitely will. I think it's the scheme more than anything. I think it's Joe Brady more than anything, really. Yeah. But I do need to get more Harvey. Like I'm only 9, probably 10% now Harvey. So let's get him in. I'm at like 20% Giddens, so I kind of want to even those out a little bit. It's kind of just where I'm at.
And then there was
I'm pretty all in on a player if he's still there, which he should be. I'm a big Josh Palmer fan, especially when we have Josh Allen.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah,
double stack with the Kincaid. Honestly, I think that Palmer might just be what's been missing from this offense, just as the deep ball threat. Like he could be. I think honestly, the floor for Josh Palmer is Gabe Davis in his prime with the Bills, which is a fine best ball pick, right? But he could be not Stephon Diggs as in like the wide receiver that Stephon Diggs is, but the deep threat that Stephon Diggs is. Like that's what I see when I see $13 million going to Josh Palmer. They see him as the deep ball guy, the guy that hasn't been there for Josh Allen literally at all, really, since Stephon Diggs. Like you could say Gabe Davis, but Gabe Davis can't catch the ball. Who else was there? MBS that did not work out at
Matt
all.
Collins and
Matt Collins, right?
Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel's still getting paid a good amount of money, by the way.
He's still going to be on the team, yeah. But and then they draft Keon Coleman to maybe be that guy, but he's not clearly. So they go out and pay a pretty good chunk of change to Josh Palmer.
Yeah,
I like Josh Palmer a lot.
For the stack, I'll do it, but honestly, I don't click Josh Palmer. Like, besides having Josh Allen, I think I would 10 times out of 10 just take Jalen Noel there or something else. But I see what you mean about what Josh Palmer could be with Josh Allen, like in that offense. I get that, and they do need that vertical receiver. They definitely need that. They have like 15 slot guys.
Yeah. They need a deep threat that is fast and can catch. Like they have.
Yeah, maybe he's a 50-50 ball guy. Like he's not like the greatest route runner, right? If I have his profile right, he's.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. He's faster. He's a better receiver than they've had in that role the entire career of Josh Allen.
You really think he's that much better than Gabe Davis?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh Palmer can catch the ball. Gabe Davis can't.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's a big difference for me.
Yeah, and I like Josh. I like Josh Palmer. He was good on the Chargers in certain situations for sure. And I mean, honestly,
this is it.
He could be acting as the wide receiver one theoretically. Like,
exactly. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, again, in that Stephon Diggs role, obviously he's not Stephon Diggs. I know that. I'm not going to say he's as good as Stephon Diggs or can put up that stat profile. That's nowhere near what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I see Josh Palmer in that Stephon Diggs role for that team. So therefore he could, honestly, I think he could turn into, a wide receiver 2 in fantasy. So I honestly do think that a top 24 season could be on the table for a guy like Josh Palmer.
Yes. Okay. I am totally brain farting right now. Was he a Charger last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? Was he not? What happened last year?
I was a little banged up. I think the biggest problem with Josh Palmer with the Chargers was always he was asked to do more than he can do.
Right, but Keenan was gone last year. That's why Palmer's scary, because you're dealing with just Quentin Johnston, and he was
exactly. They were trying to get him to be like a top flight, wide receiver 1. He's not that. He's not that guy. He's not that good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Okay.
But, in the right role, in the right situation, and when he's not supposed to be the guy, like, I think he can flourish. I really do. So
I love that take, actually. That's a cool angle. So.
Yeah. That's my thoughts. Live or die. Could be wrong on that.
I appreciate that, because I'm always down in this range, like needing a wide receiver, and I'm like, dude, I don't know who to take, because it's weird down here.
Yeah, I love Palmer for that. I agree completely. The cliff is it's a huge cliff after that range of like Higgins and who else is there's another rookie, Trey Harris, and that wide receiver range.
Yeah, it's weird. I like Devin Neal past ADP here. We're on the clock, by the way.
Yeah, let's do that. We're
20 picks past. Damian Martinez is there, but I think when you get 20 picks of value,
no, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah, we need a rookie in this room too, so that feels good.
Oh, definitely. I love this running back room, honestly. I know but James Conner that far past ADP is pretty sick. Yeah. Like, this is pretty sick.
I'll take it. I would have taken Giddens if he was still there, but I wasn't expecting him to be there.
Yeah.
Still done at quarterback for sure. Honestly, we could maybe get away with just 2 tight ends. We'll see.
Yeah, we definitely need more receivers. We're gonna have to kind of hit it with some volume here.
Yeah.
I mean, don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah.
Oh, your boy right there.
My boy. Yeah. I typically don't get him because people know.
Yeah.
people know. I heard his name come up a lot on your stream and not a lot of shout outs. It's my brand, man.
I know. I did. I definitely gave you some credit. I must.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We'll see. Forey Wayne, who's in the chat, wants.
Dude, we got so many options, honestly, on this pick right here. I like a lot of guys right here.
It's got to be Wicks for the value.
Yeah,
20
it's
picks,
easily
right? We
Wicks.
need a wide
Easily
receiver.
Wicks.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that we're on the same wavelength. We don't want to talk about it, jinx it.
What happened to him last year, dude? He could not catch the ball. It was so weird. I mean,
yeah, I think that whole team was in a weird spot for me. The whole Packers team, except, well, even at the start of the year, Josh Jacobs wasn't really, he wasn't the same player in the first half of the season that he was in the second half of the season for Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
But that whole team was in a weird spot. Jordan Love got hurt, so that was a big issue, obviously, for all the wide receivers. And then that whole distraction with Romeo Doubs wanting to be traded. And then there's all the injuries with Doubs getting concussions, Christian Watson. There's just a weird year for me for the Packers. I'm pretty all in on the Packers this year as just a bounce back. And I like Wicks quite a bit.
Do you take Jacobs, or are you about like betting more on like the passing game?
No, I'm betting on the passing game quite a bit. I like I think Jordan Love might be my most drafted quarterback, and Kraft might be my most drafted tight end, or at least close to it.
It's the most beautiful little combo when you need it most, when you don't have any quarterback stacks like right in front of you. You're just like, you know what? Love Kraft on this turn feels great.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a long time. Yeah. So it makes it really nice when you can start, let's say, 5 straight wide receivers, or like hammer wide receiver and running back, and then you have no stack ability, but you have like the number one option. Let's say it's Jamar Chase and whatever. Let's look at the top: Jamar Chase, JSN, DJ Moore, whatever it is. You have those sort of like top notch options in their offenses. And then you can bring in Jordan Love and Kraft, and then follow it up with Wicks.
Yep.
I just think you're printing money at that point.
Yeah, I have officially, I checked today, I have 1 share of Josh Jacobs, and I probably have like 15% Jordan Love. I love betting on because it's all recency bias. You guys, we watched the passing game kind of look really good and then go downhill after the Love injury, and then Jacobs back half of the season gets all the positive touchdown regression. They're interviewing, first round wide receivers regularly. Like, they're upgrading the passing game. I think it's gonna be a really good time for Jordan Love in Green Bay. He has such a smooth throw. I remember thinking about that the other day. He has that little flick, that little like lob flick pass. It's always like just perfect.
You know where you learned that from.
Yeah, right.
So who do
Packers
you like?
Luckiest franchise ever to go Favre, Rodgers, Love. Just come.
It's a good way to. No, it's not even luck. Like, it's a good way to conduct your business, right? You just force these quarterbacks to sit for 3 years and say, "Sorry, you'll play when you play." Right? Like, who else has done that in the history of football? A first round quarterback sits for 3 seasons.
I can't think of another one, honestly.
And it's the best thing you can do for a lot of these guys. That's why most of these quarterbacks get ruined, because they get taught there way too early. They're not ready, and then their careers are ended. So, it's like, great, nice work. Like, I don't know.
I was gonna say I like Rashard Smith. I think we need a running back, unless you have another guy you're thinking about here.
Well, we can draft anyone we want here. For me. Like,
what about Fannin as a third tight end? I know we're maybe not going to do a third tight end, but if we were to take one, I think he'd be a fun one to do at least.
I agree that this is the type of room that you do it in. So let's.
But you don't have to.
I'm all right with that.
Okay.
There's no real clicks. Like, realistically, the picks that I make from 16 on, I don't give a shit what their ADP is.
Right.
Whoever you take your guys. Like,
I've been hearing, and you probably know more about these player takes than I do, but I've been hearing a lot of good things from people that I respect about Taj Brooks. I've been taking him at the end. You like him at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm at like 6%.
Okay. That's definitely more than me. I like it.
4%. Wow. I'd maybe be open to drafting him here, because I would like to be at about 6% Taj Brooks by the time it's over. I like him. I think my comp for him, I believe, was Jalen Warren.
Okay. I like that.
I thought the team fit was actually the Chiefs, which makes a lot of sense. Texas Tech with Patrick Mahomes. Texas Tech, he's the leading rusher in Texas Tech history. Taj Brooks.
Okay. I like it.
I like him a lot. Not a lot. He's outside my top 5. I can pull up my notes I had on him if we want to take a look at that.
My ears just always perk up whenever I hear like 3 different channels that know nothing about each other all kind of bring up the same guy. Like, oh, this is like a sleeper that I really like. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. They're all finding their way to him in different ways, whether via watching him or stats or profile or whatever. So,
what do you want to do here? We could go Yoshivas. I don't mind Andre Yoshivas here.
I like Franklin quite a bit, actually, as a year 2 breakout with Denver. But I'm fine with Yoshi if you want to do it as well.
No, we could do that. I'm only at 5% Franklin. I definitely, it's a fine click for me.
Yeah,
so let's do that. My notes on Taj Brooks were volume and touches in high school and college is concerning. Nice vision, good speed, good patience, really nice jump cuts. Really nice jump cuts is what it said. Okay. Combine measurements will be very interesting. So that was my concern is how tall is he? Because he's a little bit of a bowling ball.
Right.
Actually, no, my comp was not Jalen Warren. Sorry. But my team fit was the Chiefs. So my concern with the touches would only be for, like, I don't know if we're talking like a dynasty sort of a thing or a long-term setting, because a lot of touches in college does not typically translate to a long, fruitful NFL career.
Yeah.
So I try. That's another kind of thing that I have a knock on Genty for, is just the amount of touches that he's had in his life at 5'8", 210. But yeah, I don't mind Taj Brooks. I'd probably be open to taking him on this team, actually, unless someone snipes him on us for no reason.
It's an interesting profile. I mean, 5'9", 215, ran a 4.52.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Like, that's pretty sweet, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what you need him to do. So, like, for a guy like Taj Brooks, even Ollie Gordon, guys like that, they just got buried in this combine because of some of the guys that blew it up, right? Especially the, Bayshall Tutons of the world, Henderson, Hampton, right? They just blew up the combine. So a lot of these guys kind of got buried where it's exactly what you wanted them to do. So
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. We could definitely take Taj Brooks on this team if someone snipes us on him. Cool.
Okay. And then the other guy I'm mixing a lot down here is Jarquez Hunter, just simply off of mock draft database.
Do you not know that's part of my brand too?
Is that the lore? No. What do you got? How much Hunter you got in here? Hunter's a smash, dude.
Jarquez is my brand. Okay. I'm 20% Jarquez.
Let's go. Nice.
Yeah, I can give you my notes on Jarquez. I have him ranked in my top 10, Jarquez.
Really? Okay. Perfect. I'm happy he's my most draft. Well, actually, unfortunately, who knows yet, but unfortunately, Jordan James is my most drafted running back down there. Slowly, right behind him is Jarquez. He's going to pass him soon.
Jarquez is part of my brand for sure. Okay. Yeah, he's one of my guys. My notes were incredible feet, pound for pound champ, breakaway 4.3 speed, nice vision, played as a true freshman, bad teams, which he was on Auburn, might get overlooked in this class, could be a steal.
Okay, I love it. And what's up with Land Larison for you?
Oh, dude, Land Larison's getting some visits now. Like he visited the Lions, and there's someone else he visited recently.
Wow,
where he's getting some visits, man. And like, honestly, I know PPR Tyler likes him, but dude, his tape is pretty fun.
It's sick. It's for sure really sick. Yeah.
So I'm not drafting him. I'm not drafting Land Larison.
No.
Like if you have to draft him, I'll draft him over the summer. Not too worried about Land Larison. But it is fun tape. It's a fun stat profile. And anytime we can get an exciting white at the wide receiver or at the running back position in the NFL. Oh, and there goes Jarquez. Shouldn't have talked about him, I guess.
I know. Well, it's meant to be. Let's grab Brooks here.
We could take Brooks. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do Brooks. And then, I don't know. We got a 2.5, or we'll have a 2.683. We're definitely done at quarterback. Extra receiver is where, let's go receiver.
Yeah.
And then this is an open. I am open to a lot down here. Like, I'm not going to argue it too much.
Well, I like rookie. We have no rookies, so I think we force in a rookie.
Horton's rising up. I'm hearing good things about Horton lately. So
I'm not a Horton guy. Okay. I didn't like the tape personally.
Felton is another one I take down here.
I don't like Felton either.
Okay, Savion Williams is your guy. 20%.
I like the boom bust of Savion.
Here's my thing with Savion. Let me just say this for people and how valuable this can be for you sometimes. I'm almost positive Savion Williams will be game day active on the 52-man roster each week because he will be special team. Like, he will be on the special teams unit for how good he is with the ball in his hands. Can't you see that? And that, but hear me out. That's not, and people listen to that and they think that's a bad thing.
No, I think
special teams guys can run. They're running routes. They might run 40-50% of the routes, and then if he's doing good in that aspect, he'll earn more. But as long as he's getting on the field as a rookie, it's a great start for a 20th round.
I'll talk to you about Savion Williams because that's not who I wanted. I do want someone I haven't clicked yet, and we're gonna click him right now. This is a guy that I'm gonna start clicking, and
Isaac Tesla.
It's Isaac Tesla, yeah. It's Isaac fucking Tesla. Like, this guy, actually, I should have been higher on him earlier, but I'm going to start clicking his name a little bit. He's a big slot guy. I think he ends up with either my Bengals, who he's visited with, or the Rams. The two teams that need a big slot the most. I'll say it right now, and I'm going to put it in my spreadsheet, and I'll show everybody my spreadsheet before the NFL draft. The Rams and the Bengals, two very, very similar offenses. Zach Taylor comes from the Sean McVay tree, right? So two very similar offenses, both need a big slot, right? So Isaac Tesla, Nick Nash, potentially Jaden Higgins, but not likely because he's going too high. But someone like that, Tesla or Nick Nash, one of those, they're going to either the Rams or the Bengals. Mark my words. One of those two, or each of them to each team. I don't really care. They both need a big slot. They both fit perfectly. They're both smart guys. It makes tons of sense. Mark my words. Isaac Tesla is someone you got to start clicking a little bit if you have bullets left. Totally. Nothing crazy. Like 4% hops. Like,
take him 5 times or something,
Exactly. Couple shares, and we'll see.
I like it. I like that call out. I took him for my first time the other day as well. And nice. I have like 35 left to do, so I'll be mixing him in. I'm pretty happy to have 30 left because I feel really like kind of locked in with who I like at the end here. So that's good at least.
I've got, I think, 17 left. So
awesome. There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a few, like you said, about 5-6 shares, something like that. A little sprinkle, nothing major. And in a 9 wide receiver room, that's where you take them.
You should be bold too. Like if you have good info, like they could very well go to the Rams or Bengals, try to stack that up. There's some merit there. I mean, sometimes don't let it dictate your first round or something, but
I called the Geno Smith trade and Sam Darnold signing, called that literally the night before it happened on stream. So go watch that if you like, but
that's awesome. No, I mean, I believe it.
No, I clipped it and put it on Facebook too, or sorry, Twitter. I clipped it and put it on Twitter as well.
You got to make do you do shorts? You got to make it a short.
No, I know it's just a pain, but
it is. There's one website that my friend Bindles used to use, and I think you pay him $8 a month, and they'll just do it for you basically.
Really?
Yeah, they'll find like the highlight of the video basically, and it'll post like 5 a week for you.
I might look into that. Another thing, let's go back to Savion Williams.
Okay.
I think he gets drafted by the 49ers. I really do.
Okay. Yeah.
They brought him in for a visit as well.
New Debo.
Exactly. Just make it easy, bring him in, plug him into that role. Easy peasy. They need a wide receiver. They're bringing in wide receivers. I think it makes tons of sense. So, bro loves Tim Hortons. Me?
That was funny because I said it Torrey Horton and you said, nah, I don't like Horton or something.
Oh, lies, bro loves Tim Hortons. So that's the draft. Let's run it down. We got 2693, Josh Allen, Michael Penix, Breece Hall, James Conner, Jordan Mason, RJ Harvey, Devin Neal, Taj Brooks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, Juwan Jennings, Darnell Mooney, Josh Palmer, Dontavion Wicks, Troy Franklin, Isaac Tesla, Mark Andrews, Dalton Kincaid, Harold Fannin, double stack Buffalo, double stack Atlanta, stop drafting peeps. The tournament's won. It's over.
That team is sick. I'm not going to lie. I really like the construction of it, like the Breece, Connor, Mason, and then just hammer 3 fun rookie running backs. the wide receivers are all pretty locked in, mixing Tesla and with that last one there for a little fun. And then Fannin at tight end when you already have, Andrews was like pick 55 last year and Kincaid was not far next to him, right? So these are two guys that were going super high last year. They're on good offenses, like mixing Fannin. Like if anyone's going to outscore Andrews and Kincaid lower than him, it very well could be Fannin. So
what I like the most about these rooms is like these are the type, like not a single rookie wide receiver until Tesla, only one rookie, right? You bring in these high floor, vets, and then you get a rookie in at the end. That's where it makes the most possible sense, is in a build like this, to bring in Tesla and Fanning. Just makes too much sense. So
totally, yeah, I like it. I've really been trying to focus a little bit more. I'm usually pretty good at it, but yeah, it's like, okay, if I took Burden, and even if, I don't know, say Ibuka falls back to me, it's like, okay, I take both of them, and then I'm looking down the board, I'm like, oh, Noel's the best pick here. It's like, it's too many. It's too much.
Yeah, and then Kyle,
a lot of these guys are going to miss
Bash.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
like I got to take you got to take your veggies, right?
I agree with that. And we got the value on Wicks, so it worked out. I like
the value on this team is insane. Wicks is 20 picks past, Connor's like 18 picks or something. Like, yeah, we got some pretty sick value all over this board, honestly.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it. Well done. Let's if you got time, you want to do some golf talk?
Absolutely. Yeah, please.
I'll
give you all my knowledge as of now.
Oh, I appreciate it. let's name this this draft, so when we win the big board, we know which one it is.
Dude, yeah, honestly.
I'm so bad at naming my teams. So bad. Unless it's a stream draft, literally stream with BBG. Okay, cool. Nothing. The last one I named was probably, with Emo Cowboy. Brokeback Best Ball with Emo Cowboy. And then the last time before that was with Emo Cowboy and Tyler. Yeah. I don't name any of my fucking teams unless they're on a stream.
I was such a nerd. I did it last year. I named every single team I drafted. I had over 800 entries, and I went through and I was like, yeah, just like that. Cincy SF and, 2583.
I started trying, and I'll sometimes, if I'm bored, I'll sit down and just pick through it. But
right.
it's
I had way too much time on my hands last year, clearly.
Oh, fair enough. Let's talk some golf. We got we're gonna have some major overlay on the Albatross, right? I know once you're done here, I'm gonna jump in the streets too. We should probably get probably up to 20%, 15 to 20% of overlay.
I'll Venmo you right now if you want to do a $50 one.
No, I can't do Venmo. I'm in Canada. So. Yeah, there's no Venmo. We could do a $50 one, but I don't think so, because I'm only gonna do one probably, and I'll probably do it on my own. But we'll do an Albatross right now. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna send you in the private chat a link that I use, give you a little help on guys that have qualified.
So I have the full list of everyone who's qualified. It's more so my golf knowledge right now is who's actually playing well, who's playing with momentum coming into this tournament, I think is a bigger thing that I need to kind of learn, because I haven't obviously been watching golf each weekend or really keep it. That's what I need to set a reminder myself. I'm going to have the FedEx, the rankings up when I'm doing this, and just kind of see who's I think it's, I don't know why.
The official world golf rankings?
Yeah, I don't know why I said FedEx. No, I was thinking of the FedEx tournament for some reason when I said that, but the PGA ranks, right? You can look up who's doing the best as of this year. I don't know.
Let's do this. Okay.
Anyways, send me something.
I'm gonna quickly do my send my lineups for the PGA, because they're not up to date on my PGA. On my Albatross. Hurry up and get the lineups. Let's go. So we can be a little more up to date with these. I've only done 7, and I'm probably going to get up to 20 by the end of tonight. But I want it to be up to date for us here. But yeah, I can definitely assist with who's hot, who's not, and who's good, who should be good, who couldn't be good, sort of thing. I get pretty deep into the Masters streets. I have 150 something lineups built for DFS. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm trying my best to get as much information as I can. So I picked the first DFS golf podcast I could find, and they're talking about the Masters, of course. They're not talking about specifically the majors all combined, but they were just like, they were from Augusta, and the guy, it was just wild, man. The things that people talk about for golf DFS, they're like, yeah, you know, I mean, like he doesn't like, we're looking for like peak, like ball flight peak height, whatever, like is really good for the Masters. Like you got to have high ball flight, apparently, with your irons or something. Like I was like, dude, I don't know. Let's
jump in. That's a little aggressive. Like, that's part of the thing that I don't really like to consume golf content, because they overthink it.
Right.
Like they're way overthinking it. Like what I do is I use a program, or it's called Fantasy National, where all the stats are built in, and you can filter out certain stats, and you build a model, and then you select the rankings, and you pick your players, and you build 150 lineups, all that kind of stuff. So it's easier just to not overthink it. If I'm being honest, look at the stats and what adds up for the course, and then kind of take it from there. Augusta is always known for bombers do well. Like bombers do well at Augusta. Putting doesn't typically matter. If you get hot, you get hot. Bad putters show up well at Augusta all the time. You do need to be a good iron player. You have to have experience playing the course. Realistically, Augusta is a track that you have to have experience playing. There hasn't been a debutante winner in like 30 years. So if it's their first time playing at the Masters, they're probably not winning.
Yeah, right.
Almost certainly.
No, that's definitely one thing, right? Is like you want to look at players who have done well at these events in years past. Like that's a huge factor for the majors.
Yeah, especially at Augusta. Like if they've played Augusta before and they've played well at Augusta before, that's
how much are you factoring in like the Open Championship, since it's like
I saw someone in your chat, like, since it's week 17, it doesn't matter as much, honestly. Like,
well, because there's 300 people in the pod, right? Yes, I'm
you're giving us Scotty. We're taking Scotty. But you have to get there. Like, it's more important to advance in the Masters, because if you don't get it past the Masters, then you're just dead. You're out. So, you can't play fantasy golf like you can football.
Okay, you can't do that.
You can't. No.
Okay.
You can't. You have to. And realistically, like all of the major tournaments, for the most part, similar players do well at all of the tracks typically. So US Opens and Open Championships, bombers.
Okay.
Pretty much always bombers, right? That's why guys like Bryson DeChambeau always do well in the US Open.
Okay.
Right. And like theoretically, Bryson should do better than he has at Augusta, because again, bombers do well at Augusta.
Okay.
And there's not extremely penal rough. Whereas at the US Open, you hit the ball in the rough, you're not getting the ball in the green, period.
Yeah, got it.
So it's
well, that's an interesting take, to weight so much of it to the Masters. I mean, because then the next week you're in another tournament, and it's an even harder advance rate, because it's 1 out of 6 the following week.
Yeah, not the following week. It's like,
or whatever, like it's a month. Yeah,
like a month later.
I know I'm in football terms still, but the following tournament, you're now in a 1 out of 6 advance. So wouldn't you say that like the next tournament actually weighs more?
Well, but good luck. You got to get there, and then you got to have the right players. Like, it's so hard to just it's so hard to project realistically. Like for this, like I like Brooks. Hideki's a good pick for the Masters, not necessarily great for like the Open or the US Open, but Brooks is a good click for anywhere, realistically.
Okay.
So I'm good with Brooks, and he shows up in major championships.
Okay. I like that.
Brooks is one of my favorite players as well. His ninth appearance at the Masters. He can hit the ball far. He's good everywhere. He makes pars is the biggest thing that I like about Brooks in majors. He makes pars, and he's very good at making par.
Okay.
And par is a good score in any major.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. No, the winning scores are always like 6 down, 7 down or whatever. So not
potentially,
always,
yeah.
but I
No,
was just looking back at some years past leaderboards. So
there's been winners of the Masters that have been over par. So
okay, that's good. That's good to know.
yeah, same thing with the U.S. Open Championship. It can get pretty dicey. I don't mind Shane Lowry here. I don't mind Russell Henley here. Either one of those work for me. Joaquin Neiman's one of my favorites actually as well.
Okay, I take a ton of Shane Lowry, just but take whoever. Like I obviously I don't have golf knowledge like that, but
let's take Neiman. Like that's another thing about the Masters. The 4 of the last 5 winners of the Masters have won twice the same season. The only players that have won twice, the only one player that has won twice this year is Rory. So that's why a lot of people like him at 1, which is not the worst. Honestly, it's not the worst take to take Rory at 1. It's really not.
I've heard that. I've heard that Scheffler's like got his B game this year. It's not A1 Scotty.
Scheffler's still amazing. It's still Scotty Scheffler, but
yeah, to his standards though.
Or Rory's one of the best golfers in the world, if not the second best golfer in the world right now. But Joaquin Neiman has won twice on the Live Tour this year.
Okay, that's awesome to know. So what's how has Shane been this year? How's Lowry been? I take a lot of him mainly because he's playing all 4, obviously, and he's also had really high finishes at the Championship Open, which I have been waiting more personally because if I do happen to get a team there, I want the dude who could potentially win that tournament. But
the European guys do well at the Open for sure. It's a European, it's the British Open, like it's the European tournament, right?
Right.
They do well there. Let's do.
Okay, this is one I really want to know about. I take a ton of Sungjae. Yeah.
Sungjae is good. He plays well at the Masters too. I think I'll take him here because I don't have enough. Okay. I'll definitely take Sungjae.
That's just such a relief to hear. I'm like 40 drafts in, and he's like 65% of my teams. I think.
He's good. He's a really good player. He's just quality everywhere, and I think honestly, it's only a matter of time before Sungjae wins at the Augusta. I really do. Yeah. We'll see. Anyone that continuously plays well there.
All these guys are all still qualified. Finau, Clark are. Aaron Rye's interesting. I've been taking
Aaron Rye is not bad. I have a little bit of him. I'd rather Finau or Clark, but I don't mind Minwoo. I don't think I want to take him. I know he hasn't qualified for everything, but the one I wouldn't worry about when you're looking at qualifiers typically. But let's take like Tone Dog just kills it. He plays really well at Augusta.
Okay.
And he's a bomber, so he does well in the other tournaments. Let's get Tone Dog here.
Sure.
But the one I wouldn't worry about when you're looking at who's qualified for what, the PGA Championship doesn't really matter. Okay. Everyone will play the PGA for the most part.
Well, that's really good to know. That's huge, actually.
Yeah. The ones that really matter. So for me, a guy like Rasmus Højgaard, he's only qualified, I think, for the Masters and the Open, correct? And his brother, Nikolai, his twin brother, has qualified for the PGA and the Masters.
Yes.
I think that we should be weighting Rasmus a little bit higher. I know he hasn't qualified for the PGA yet, but he'll be in there, and he's qualified for the Open.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I'm totally in on that. I've been taking Rasmus because I found that very interesting. Because like I said, I've been drafting off of the notion that the Open Championship is super important. So I saw he's playing the Masters and the Open. I was like, that's a fine 10th round pick.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. Harmon's interesting.
Yeah, Harmon coming off. He just won, right?
I don't like Harmon at Augusta, even though he's from Augusta, Georgia.
Okay. Jason Day is interesting, and I take a lot of Hoon An. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's qualified for all 4. He's good.
It's just Benny on.
Benny on. Okay.
Benny on, like Benny instead of Byun Hyun.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Just call him Benny.
I'm glad you like him too. He's a lot. Yeah, he's a good pick.
He's quality. He's quality. He hasn't qualified for the PGA yet, but he'll be there.
Okay.
He'll be there. I'm not worried about that. Horschel, I don't mind. I saw shout out Candyman was talking about Horschel. I don't mind Horschel.
I don't mind him either. He's had good major finishes as well, which is always a good indicator of doing it again.
And I don't have enough, so let's get Billy Ho.
Yeah.
He's also a goddamn psycho. He's
I really wish my co-host, I guess I'd call him MP43, was here. He's a diehard. I mean, I golf too. I do golf. I want everyone to know that I'm actually a decent golfer, but I do not watch PGA very much. But my co-host MP43, he would be the one to talk to about all this. He is diehard golf. He's in the streets, man, and that guy golfs every single weekend, probably twice a weekend.
What's his cap?
I don't know, but he's good, man. He's really good.
Nice.
I don't know what he's shooting these days, but I know him and his buddies, they're always playing like scramble tournaments, and like
nice.
He'll be like, yeah, dude, we got 4 eagles today, like scrambles. I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
yeah, scrambles are you got to be making birdies at least in a scramble.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
That's for sure. Yeah. Mac Hughes hasn't qualified for anything, so I don't like Mac Hughes. I know he's Canadian. Denny hasn't qualified for much of anything. No. Neiman has not qualified for the U.S. Open, but won top 5, and he's good.
Davis Thompson is qualified.
This is Davis Thompson. This is Davis Thompson for sure. Like, he's a guy you should have higher than 48.
I agree. Yeah, I've been okay. I feel good even though people I've been drafting at least. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. Davis is a good click, I think.
And I'll tell you who. I mean, I don't know if someone's gonna snipe us or something, but I take a lot of Chris Kirk.
Yeah,
big just for the just because he's qualified, but it doesn't look like he's playing great this year, which I don't love. And then I've been taking this guy lately, Pavon. I think the Frenchman.
Yeah, Matthew Pavon.
He's qualified 3 tournaments, I believe.
Yeah, and he'll probably be in the PGA. I don't hate that. I don't think I've taken Pavon yet, so I don't necessarily want to take him right here, but I'd be open to him at the end. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, in the 10th. But here, okay, darn it.
I like Christian Bezadenhout here.
Yeah, he's qualified. I kind of lean towards him because of the qualification. His fellow South African is also someone I've taken before, the Lawrence guy.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Tristan?
Yeah, that guy. I've mixed him in. Let me look into him here. He's I've only taken him twice. He's qualified for the Masters and the Open right now though.
Yeah, I don't take him much. I don't know if I could recommend that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
In this one guy's rankings I found online, he had JT Poston at like high up there. I don't know.
I don't think Poston would do that well.
Fair.
Like Max Masters Homa and the PGA. Like Poston hasn't qualified for the US or the Open, and he probably won't unless he has a big finish, which I doubt. He doesn't hit the ball far enough, if I'm being honest. Poston's a really good putter.
Okay, got it.
And
Jeff T, Tristan Lawrence, yuck, dude. I don't know. I'm literally looking at a list of people qualified. That's all I'm going off.
No lefties, but Robert McIntyre is a guy that you should definitely be drafting. He's a lefty.
Okay.
Definitely a guy you should be drafting. And then here, like this guy, Matthew McCarty, he's qualified for everything. That's a good click.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's really it. Like, there's really no one down here that's really like I'm going to pound the table for. The Højgaard twins. The Højgaard twins are just really good golfers, so they should be drafted at a higher clip than they are.
That's fair.
So,
I like that take.
Realistically, it's like Kirk, Højgaard, one of the twins, or McCarty. And if it's me, I'm probably leaning Rasmus.
Okay, let's do it.
So I mean, Nikolai finished T16 last year at the Masters. His brother Rasmus didn't play, so that's good. You know, he's probably going to play practice round with him, that sort of thing. How about McNeely? McNeely doesn't bomb enough for me for the courses. Mind you, he could be like a Wyndham Clark type of a player where he's won at the US Open, but McNeely hasn't qualified for everything on that. Like, he's only qualified for the Masters and the PGA, and he probably won't again without a big finish. He probably won't qualify for the Open or the US Open. So I don't think McNeely's a good click personally. But that big tournament that I won, he was in my lineup. So I always have a soft spot for Mav That's McNeely. But I probably wouldn't be going Mav McNeely. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He could qualify due to his official world golf ranking. That's fair. But I just don't like him regardless, if I'm being honest. He doesn't hit the ball far enough off the tee in any tournament, like in the Masters, at the US Open, or the Open. Like the PGA is the PGA, whatever. If the PGA is the tournament that he gets you through and you make it somehow and you drag his ass through, cool. But the Augusta, like the Masters, the US Open, and the Open tournament are all too similar to not just take like bombers, in my opinion. So that play well, bombers that play well, like Scotty, Koepka, Neiman's good enough, Finau, Davis Thompson, Rasmus, right? Like honestly, in these majors, give me Rasmus Højgaard over McNeely. Like really? Not as in like he's a better player, but just in these structures and these courses that they play. That's kind of the way I see it. But
I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's pretty much it. I think that's all we got for tonight. If you're good, unless you want to keep going.
No, I feel great. No, I gotta go. I gotta make some dinner and then gear up for some albatross drafts myself. But
let's do
it. I'll see you guys in the streets tonight. So.
Absolutely. I'll be ripping golf tournaments. That's for sure. From now until I go to bed tonight. Appreciate you coming on, man. Hopefully we bank the big board. The link I'm pretty confident that everyone in the chat is already subscribed to BBG, but if you are not, the link to his channel is in the description. Go like and subscribe all the videos for BBG. Give him good luck on the surgery. So best of luck to you in a couple of days. Hopefully you heal up well, quick and easy.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, no worries.
Let the people know anything you want to say. Shout out the channel. Anything you want to do, let them know.
Shout out Brock Bowers. You're my hero. And no, I'm just playing around. No, you guys know where to find me. It's Best Ball Guy on all social media. And I'm streaming tomorrow. I'm getting surgery on Friday, and then I'm assuming I'll have to stop, but who knows? The surgery is in the morning, and as long as I can prop this leg up and be maybe on some really strong ibuprofen or something, we might run a stream. I don't know. We'll see what the world looks like. I've never had surgery before, so I really don't know what to expect. But yeah, appreciate you having me on, man. I think we had some really good discussions, and honestly, I really liked that team. So.
Yeah, me too. So we have it named. Hopefully we bink it. We'll get out of here. I'll be back. Not this weekend. I'm going to a big birthday party out of town. So I won't be back this weekend. Monday, we'll rip a stream. And then there'll be one more on Thursday or Friday with the mock draft. And then next Saturday will be the 12-hour live stream. BBG will be on that as well, I'm sure. So look out for those 3 episodes. Nothing till Monday. Then one more mock draft, which is going to be super fun. And then 12 hours straight of my mug. So we'll get out of here. Hit that like button on your way out. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight, BBG and I just won 250 Gs. Have yourselves a great night. Peace.